Hello out there, wherever you are. As for me, this is going to be the first in a longer series of videos because I'm going to start exploring the filming locations for movies and TV shows that have happened around the Pittsburgh area. And this is one I kind of added to the list, but pushed it right back up to the top because this happens to be the debut weekend for the new Netflix show, I Am Not Okay With This. Now, if you haven't watched this yet, pause this video right now, go watch it. It's quick episodes, 7 episodes. Most of them are less than a half hour long. They pack a lot into those 7 episodes, but roll through it, then come back. We may get into some light spoilers. I will do my best to avoid that, but really it's to explore the filming locations. And it starts here in historic Brownsville, PA. Now this is up the Mon River, about 25-30 miles from where I live, about 30 plus miles from downtown Pittsburgh. And right up here and right at the end of this bridge is some of the more important filming locations, starting with the first episode, and we are going to check that out. Now, these may not necessarily be in order by how they appeared, but they're definitely going to be things that if you watch the show that you'll know exactly what they look like. Let's go check out the filming locations for I Am Not Okay With This. The girls dance their way down this stretch of road past across this furniture here. You can see inside on their way down to Fiddles. Diner. Now Fiddles lists itself as an authentic 50s diner, but it's been open since 1910, making it the first 50s diner as it opened up 40 years before the 50s, which is interesting. And interestingly enough, the mural is that close. It looks a lot further in the thing. You can see it over Sydney's shoulder when she's sitting in the restaurant, but it is close. So I'm here at Fiddle's Diner. It is a traditional American diner, and I'm actually sitting in Sydney's booth. And you can see that it has the V and the MD scratched in. Those are the two things that you can really see on the show. And you can see the Brownsville mural behind me, but it's really cool. It's a lot smaller than it looks on screen. You know, they use different kind of lenses and things, but all pretty cool. Pretty cool to be in this booth. And Fiddles, it is closing at 2, so I'm gonna head out now. We have the floor, everything. And we're sitting over here. You can see the main street through down here. Now, if you want to sit here and think and decode, there are a lot worse places than this, but as far as your first place to get high, I don't know if you want to necessarily do that in that close of a proximity to the place where your mom works, but Sydney was a rebel. So, just to give you an idea, that's the view from if you're sitting down. The diner is right there. So, and this looms a lot larger in the show, this area, but actually this is like, and it seems like it'd be like under the bridge, which is kind of like hidden away, but this road here, there's like a throughway and people just fly right through, down and over this way. So that's interesting. Yeah, the timeline is real wonky in this show. It's supposedly set in the present day, but it's interesting. Just getting the kids from it is a Hollywood staple now. If you want to do something with teenage angst, but also like a paranormal, supernatural vibe, you get the kids from it. And that's no knock on them because they're really good. The two actors, Sophia and Wyatt, and the dude named Wyatt is just going to play Stan in every role for the rest of his life. He's typecast as a Stan forever. But the timeline is definitely ambiguous. There are more scenes with cassette tapes than there are cell phones. You know, Sydney mentions to her mom that people haven't worn stockings since the 90s, meaning it's older than that. When they were at the party, the kid's wearing a Penguins 2009 Stanley Cup champs shirt, so it's older than that. But the problem is they don't exactly have a true timeline, and most of the people use old archaic technology. The security cameras in the library look old when they pull them up on Stan's laptop. Even that laptop is like an old IBM ThinkPad. That's old. He talks about having VHS tapes and that he doesn't want to go to Laserdisc. He drives around an old 80s car, 80s music, so it's kind of has an 80s vibe. And I get why they picked Brownsville, because it's kind of like in that time capsule where it hasn't changed. You can tell Brownsville looked this way in the 70s, in the 50s, in the 80s, in the 90s, and still looks that way today. So I get why Brownsville was chosen as a location. Now, they did take some liberties. They said Brownsville had the city goal for the most air pollution in America, but I think they finished third in that vote. Yeah, no, it's not that bad. It's actually all right. So yeah, let's go on, move to check out some other locations. So this here is Stan's house, and I know Sydney was walking to school to Stan from this way to Stan's house, but it's actually 40 miles away from the diner and the Brownsville mural, so hell of a walk. I'm not going to get out of the car here just because it's a weird little, you know, it's someone's residential house and it's road closed, only to local traffic. That's the house right there. You see the bridge. You can see how they angled it, where they put the camera there, and you can see the bridge up there. But yeah, that's about as far as I'm gonna get. But yeah, that's Stan's house under the bridge, which is actually in a weird East Pittsburgh, North for Sales type area. Very strange. And there was some weird stuff going on when I first came down here, so that is why I'm not getting out of the car. So yeah, off to the next one. If you do want to go check out Stan's house, one thing to be aware of, first of all, it's a residential neighborhood, so tread lightly there, but it's road closed, open to local traffic. And also, it's weird, there was a car that was backing up the street, and another car almost chasing it with tinted windows. So yeah, I wasn't about to get out of the car. So yeah, off to the next one. But just so you're aware, you know, you can take a cool picture, but it is someone's house, so, you know, be advised of that. We are here at the J&K Plus. Now, this is also nowhere near Brownsville. This is actually in Wilkins Township, I believe. But it looks exactly like it is in the show inside, so we're going to check that out. Yeah, I didn't want to be real weird about recording inside someone's store, but yeah, I was just kind of checking out the paneling, and the cases with the gold trim are identical. They haven't changed since this place opened, I don't think. And that's the aisle that she wrecked. Definitely that aisle it has to be, I would say, based on the angle. Well, it's time to go to school. Westinghouse School, this is the high school from I'm Not Okay With This. It's actually about 40 miles from Brownsville in Wilmerding, Pennsylvania, not far from where I grew up. It used to be the Westinghouse Memorial High School. It's now the Westinghouse Arts Academy. It's an art high school. But yeah, it served as the home of the Wolverines, which is interesting because Woodland Hills is not far away, and they were the Wolverines. But Wilmerding is another one of those towns that kind of is like time in a bottle, where if you look, you can see there's just a place in time where these things don't look like this anymore. You know, old architecture. You understand why they made this choice for it, and it's cool that they left the Westinghouse name in there. But these were I think these were the doors that Sydney came out at the end when the incident, I guess you could say, happened. I mean, if you watched this far, I'm guessing you watched all of the episodes when she came running out of here with all the other people. It looks like it was this door, not the main doors. This is also around the area. I think it was this tree here, one of these trees, but it looks like this one, where she was confronted about what happened in the library. They put a bench here, and then I think it was this one, because the view from the other side, like from her perspective here, and you can see this archway behind there. So I'm almost certain, I'm trying to line it up, but I think it was this tree where she was confronted about what actually happened in the library, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, generally, because it's a teenage girl with mind control powers, the thought, and it's a Netflix show, the thought goes right to Stranger Things comparisons. But for me, this was more of a Carrie vibe, although Carrie was more evil, and that begs the question, is this a superhero origin story or a super villain origin story? I guess time will tell on that. The ending kind of made me sway it to be a more super villain origin story. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you feel that this is going to be a hero or a villain at show's end? I really think they're going to pick it up for a second season. I thought it was really good. I can't say I knew for sure if all the interior shots were filmed in here, but you can see this, definitely the steps that she came running down in the finale. Well, that'll wrap it up. A lot of miles covered today. We went to Brownsville, which is about 40 miles away, to back here, which, you know, I'm more familiar with this area, but I am not okay with this filming locations. Fiddle's Diner was great. I didn't really film much of it other than the booth, but I went and stopped in there, had a burger and fries, delicious, great diner food. I recommend you stop there. The mural's right beside it. Go take a picture. Definitely something, you know, I hope this kind of brings that little town, because that little town's kind of in some, you know, rough shape, where like a lot of the businesses are boarded up, kind of like a land that time forgot. So maybe this will bring some, you know, new tourism, at least for Fiddles, if not, you know, for Brownsville itself. But really cool. Check out the filming locations. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment. I got my filming locations, actually a lot of the filming locations, from atlasofwonders.com. Kudos to them for having some of the addresses up. Really helped me. Their link will be in the description below. If you'd like to donate to my Patreon for videos like this, that link will be in the description, as well as if you want to buy a t-shirt, shopspreadshirt.com. That link will be also in the description below. But when it comes to I am not okay with this filming locations, I can say that my name is Tom and I was here. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye, guys.